Yo, today we are making a beach house track that will surely make you dance. It's gonna be all about the groove, the bass, some vocal chops, effects, a fun time for sure. Also, I'm gonna be using Output Arcade plugin. They also sponsored this video, so I'm gonna show you how it works. So let's get to it. I'm gonna set the BPM to 126, which is great for this type of house track. And let's get started. So if you are not familiar with Output Arcade, it's a very useful plugin. It can be a sampler, a synth, it can manipulate audio, create some interesting effects, and they have a huge library of sounds in here, and new sounds are coming every week. So to get this started, let's start with the drums. I'm gonna go to lines, which are like collection of sounds that go well together, and let's find something fitting for house music. This one called Warehouse. Let's go to it, and you have multiple samplers right here. So let's preview some. So in this sampler, you have a collection of sounds that go well together. And I'm focusing on the drums because I really want the drums from the sampler. So I really like this one. So let's open it up. So once we are here, we can play all of these loops and apply some effect. But as I said, I'm gonna focus on the drums. Really cool groovy drums, exactly what we need for this house track. So let's actually put them in a piano roll. So I'm just gonna put the drums in, extend them. So we got the kick, we got the snare, we got the hi-hats, and some more hi-hats. So we're just gonna put all of these in here. And our drums are ready to go. Now, of course, later we can adjust these and switch it up. But for now, this is gonna be the full drum beat. Let's just put it in the playlist. And let's also add some effects. Beady grit. And I also wanna play with the low pass. I'm actually gonna automate it. Click right here on this button, move whatever knob you wanna automate, then right click on this button, create automation clips. And what we're gonna do is really simple low pass filter, just like so. So right now we have the drums, and of course we want the start of the show, the bass. So I'm gonna open another instance of Arcade, and this time let's go to search and go to instruments, which are like presets that you can play on the keyboard. You can play each note, so we can make our own custom bass. So we can either search for here, we're gonna do bass and choose line, and actually just go to our line that we used previously, which is the Warehouse, and we're gonna take a look at the sounds that that line is offering as instruments. So right out of the bat, I think I like this one the most. Really simple analog bass, but that's exactly what I want. So we're gonna load it up, and now we can play it on our keyboard. So one thing I want to do before creating the bass is turn on the swing to about 66%, which is gonna make everything a bit more groovy and offbeat. Now go to piano roll and start building our bass. So I recommend starting with the root notes. So it's gonna be A, F and D. Just simple root notes, lay them out like this, so you know which root notes you're gonna be following for the bass. And then, to make it a lot more groovy, let's add some filler notes. So one good thing to do is add a note octave higher. And I wanna do this jumpy bass, basically. Maybe put this octave lower. Again, octave higher, right here and here. I think this one could go octave higher. I mean, this groove is crazy, so I think I'm gonna go with that. And what I wanna do is add some effects on this. So I'm gonna put it on channel 3. And of course, we want kickstart to sidechain it. You can also use gross beat if you don't have kickstart. Just go to gross beat, repeater, sidechain A, sidechain B. I always mention this, but I prefer kickstart for whatever reason. makes it a lot more groovy right away. And I also want to delete the high frequencies from this bass. So I'm just going to go to EQ, low pass. So it's a bit more of a deep bass. So I'm going to lower the frequencies like that. And let's also make a variation of the bass. So we're going to click on this button right here, make unique. And let's add some extra notes here. Maybe just like that, one note here. So we have this repetition of the jump. And then double notes here. So we have a bit of variation and a fill, so the listener knows this is the second time the bass is repeating. Let's listen to it with the drums. That is sounding amazing. Just the drums and the bass is already a banger. So what I like to do is sort of create the main idea and then create the arrangement later. So we're gonna build the main idea first. And what I definitely want to add is some vocals or vocal chops. And if you are liking Output Arcade so far, you can check it out in the link below. If you are having any creative block, this will definitely help you with inspiration. So check it out, try it out for free. And now let me show you other things this can do. So as I said, I want some vocals, and I saw all about vocals category. So they got a lot of vocal chops, and that's one of my favorite things in here.
I don't want anybody else.
And I really like these jukebox vocals in the style of 50s and the 60s.
Put a nickel in the record machine, push a button and you'll...
Which I do love adding to modern house music. So let's check them out.
Mama told me, mama told me.
Ooh, you got me begging. Ooh, you got me crying. Never let them.
I do like this one. So let's play the sampler. And once again, you can play all these lines.
Ooh, if you had, just like had, if love had.
And create your own chopped vocals.
Ooh, oh, 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 oh.
So let's see what we can come up with here. And one thing we need to do is change the key to the key of our song. So all the loops will automatically change to that key. So to find out our key, we're just gonna go to our bass. We're gonna go to View, Scale Highlighting, Automatic, hover over FL Studio's piano roll, and in the top left corner you can see the key is A minor. Once we know that, just go back to the vocal and change this D major to minor and A. So now all the vocal chops are in A minor, so they're gonna fit well with our bass. Once we got that, put in the vocal chops.
If you ready, I wish. If you ready, I wish. Love takes me. Love, show me what your love takes me. Just like if you show me what you made. Show me who you love takes me. Just like if you who you got me begging. Love, hey, hey.
Okay, maybe something like this.
Love takes me. Just like if you who you got me begging. Hey.
Sounds pretty good. So let's actually put that in, repeat that. And I'm also gonna put it on a separate mixer track and put a Kickstart plugin on the vocal as well. So it's sort of pumping a little bit.
Love takes me. Just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love takes me. Just like if you who you got me begging. Hey.
So the groove is coming together nicely. We can also add some effects to the vocals.
Love takes me just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love takes me just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love takes me just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love takes me.
A little bit of an echo, a deeper voice. Sounds pretty good.
Love takes me just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love
I love this groove a lot. Let's add some effects as well. So a down sweep and an up sweep. We're gonna cut it in the end like this.
takes me just like if you who you got me begging.
Let's actually put a gate on this. So we're gonna go to gross beat, trans gate. So it's gonna be sort of choppy.
Love takes me just like if you who you got me begging. Hey. Love takes me just like if you.
Now let's actually add some counter melody as well. So as I said, I'm just building up the main idea. We're gonna create the arrangement later, but let's just duplicate this, maybe without the vocal for now, and let's add another instance of arcade. And I want some percussion acoustic sound, and I'm gonna go to mallet percussion. So like a xylophone or something like that. This one I really like. It's like that rain drum that you play. So I'm gonna go with that one. A little bit less reverb. Sounds good. Let's put it on a channel 4. So it's also sidechained. And we're gonna create a melody, sort of a counter melody to the bass. Let's do full velocity. Very groovy, goes well with the bass. And what I want to do is have like a empty space for a little bit before it starts playing. So yeah, to introduce this melody, we're just gonna have it play by itself for a little bit, and then it's gonna hit with the drop. Let's make it more clear with a crash. So also let's type in 707 and let's add a snare. Just a classic 707 snare, just a little fill. Let's pitch it up a little bit. So that's gonna be before the drop right here. But I do want to add some more sounds, some chords perhaps. So let's go open up another instance of Arcade. And I want some voices. So go to Instruments, let's do Vocal. And I want these choppy voices, again with like a trance gate. Like so maybe try these ones. We're gonna see how that works out. And create some simple chords. So we're gonna take the bass notes, so A, F, D, copy them, put them in here, and create simple chords. Okay, let's make a bit more of an interesting chord here, like that. So that's going to be sort of in the background in here. But we want to edit it a little bit so it's more in the background. Mainly what I want to do is put it on a new channel, put a Kickstart plugin on it, but also put Panomatic on it. And that's going to pan it to the left and right. And we're going to enable the LFO tool. So it's going to pan automatically. And we're going to have to turn it on. So it's gonna sort of sway to the left and right. But as I said, I also want to add gross beat and I want to do the trance gate as well. Maybe let's not add Kickstart. I like it. Let's also add the effects back in. So we almost have the full song ready, even though it doesn't look like it, but we have the first drop idea and the second one. We just have to make the intro and some sort of a build-up. So this is what we have so far. So now I'm gonna switch to the full project because I already did the work and there is a lot of trial and error. So it's better if I show you afterwards rather than showing you while I'm doing it. So here's the full project. It may sound daunting at first, but it's pretty much what we had to this point. So we have the drums, we have the bass, we have these chords, and of course we have the melody right here. I also added one more sound, and it's the simple pad. It's just sort of following the chords. As far as the arrangement goes, here is what we got. We start with the drums, and I strip them of the kick. We have the first part of the bass, but I turned off the low frequencies. That's a really good way to introduce the bass without the low frequencies, because you really want those low frequencies to hit in the drop. So I just removed them. So this is our start. Then we introduce the vocal. Then we come in with the bass and the drums, and of course the drums are just the kick and the snare. We're gonna add the hi-hats later. Then we add all of the hi-hats, the open hi-hats and stuff like that. We add the chords. So that's how we progress in this song. And then we have this build-up, which I'm gonna show you. It seems like there is a lot of automations, which there is, and it's mostly my own plugin Neon Glow. As you can see, I have Neon Glow on the vocal, and basically what it does, it sort of washes up the sound and starts introducing this build-up effect where you have some delay and it's removing some of the frequencies. So it sounds like this, which is gonna automate it from the bottom to the top. So it just adds this transition effect. Neon Glow is also available in FL Cloud if you want to check it out. And so we have the drums without the kick in the build-up. We have the bass, once again, without any low frequencies. And we have the vocal, and I also added this clap, which also has a lot of reverb on it building up. And that's pretty much the build-up. We have the crashes, the down sweeps, and the upsweep, and it's simple as that. We just build up the vocal and create this wash effect, which is amazing to create some intensity. Then we introduce the melody just like before, and then we go right into the drop. Then we repeat it with the chords, and every time we sort of repeat it again, at the end we want to remove the drums and have this little transition where there are no drums and no bass. So we do that once again here, and then we repeat the drop with only the bass, the drums and the vocal. So we prepared all of this beforehand, and now we are just putting it together. So I think this is a pretty amazing track. I'm definitely gonna release it on Spotify, so if you wanna check it out, link will be below as well. And of course, link for Output Arcade is below as well. There is a lot of things you can do with it that I didn't show you today, but it will surely help you with inspiration and creative block, and also give you some amazing sounds to play with, which they keep adding new sounds weekly. So check it out, link is below, try it out for free. And now let me show you the finished result. Enjoy!